Yes, these bagels are made from red lentils. They're 100% plant-based and 100% gluten-free, and they are so easy to make. And these cream cheeses are 100% plant-based, meaning they're dairy-free and they're also gluten-free. One is made from cashews, but the others are nut-free. One is made from sunflower seeds, and the other is made from pumpkin seeds. If you're following a gluten-free and vegan or plant-based diet like I am, you know it's really hard to find bagels that don't contain eggs or these white, highly refined, high glycemic, and simple carb flours. Today I'm going to show you how to make bagels using red lentils. And these bagels have about 17 grams of fiber per bagel and about 10.5 grams of protein per bagel. I'm also going to show you how to make 3 different types of cream cheeses. One, as we all probably know, is the typical cashew cream cheese. The other, however, for those who are allergic to nuts, is made out of sunflower seeds. And the third, which isn't quite common, but it's made out of pumpkin seeds. I'm going to show you how to flavor these cream cheeses. One flavor is a common garlic and green onion flavor. The other is a sun-dried tomato and basil cream cheese. And the third is a pineapple cashew cream cheese. I'll first go over how to make each of these cream cheeses. And keep in mind, I'll show you each type with a particular flavor, but you certainly can make each of these with any of these flavors or additional flavors. I'll give you some suggestions later on about how to flavor your cream cheese or just to have your standard unflavored cream cheese. So this first recipe is for a garlic and chive pumpkin seed cream cheese. Measure 1 cup of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds, and then place these into a saucepan full of water. You want to bring this to a boil, and then you're going to boil the pumpkin seeds for 10 minutes. Did you know that pumpkin seeds are an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, also magnesium, and they also have fiber, and they're full of antioxidants. They're essentially a very healthy seed. While the sunflower seeds were boiling, I prepared the rest of my ingredients. I juiced a lemon and yielded about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Then in a separate small bowl, I measured 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper. I then washed and dried a handful of chives, and then I diced those. After 10 minutes of boiling, I then drained and rinsed the pumpkin seeds. I then poured the seeds into a small KitchenAid food processor that I have. You can also use a high-speed blender, but what we want to do is blend the seeds. However, before I started pulsing the pumpkin seeds, I added the garlic powder and the salt and pepper. I also added the 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Then I started pulsing the pumpkin seeds in the food processor. And what you want to do is you want to just continuously keep either blending or pulsing until you get a cream cheese-like texture. You'll have to stop the blender or food processor occasionally to scrape down the sides, but just keep doing that until all of the seeds are pulverized and you have a nice creamy cream cheese texture. After I achieved my desired texture for the cream cheese, I then folded in the diced chives. This recipe makes about 2 ramekins full of pumpkin seed, garlic, and chive cream cheese. You'll want to cover your cream cheese with some plastic wrap and then store in the fridge. This cream cheese should be good in the fridge for about 3 days. The next recipe is for sun-dried tomato and basil cream cheese using sunflower seeds. Measure 1 cup of unsalted sunflower seeds and place them in a medium-sized bowl. Then cover the sunflower seeds with boiling hot water and allow them to soak in that water for 10 minutes. Did you know that sunflower seeds are good in reducing inflammation and good for heart health? They're high in selenium and they're high in vitamin E and magnesium. After soaking in the boiling water for 10 minutes, drain the sunflower seeds and also rinse them. Then place the sunflower seeds in a high-speed blender or a food processor. Add about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to the sunflower seeds. Also add about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder, a half a teaspoon of black pepper and also a half a teaspoon of salt. And to add a bit of a cheesy flavor, add about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. You can certainly add more if you like. Then blend all the ingredients together until you achieve a thick, creamy, cream cheese-like texture. And occasionally, again, you're going to have to stop the blender or your food processor and scrape down the sides to incorporate all the ingredients together. The final texture you want to achieve is a creamy, smooth, cream cheese-like texture. When you achieve your desired texture, just take the cream cheese mixture and put it in a separate bowl so that you can fold in the additional ingredients. For this recipe, I washed and dried some fresh basil, and then I took several leaves and I sliced them into smaller slices to fold into the cream cheese. I then took a large handful of sun-dried tomatoes and I diced those as well to add to the cream cheese. I mixed the cream cheese well to incorporate the basil and the sun-dried tomatoes throughout the entirety of the cream cheese. I also placed this cream cheese in separate ramekins to store covered in the fridge. So now I'm moving on to my favorite of these 3 cream cheeses, that is the pineapple cashew nut cream cheese. For this, you need about 1.5 cups of raw unsalted cashews. You want to cover those cashews with boiling water and allow them to soak for 10 minutes. 2 health benefits of cashews are that they contain calcium and heart-healthy fats. After the cashews soaked for 10 minutes in the hot water, I poured them into a strainer and strained them, and then I also rinsed them. I then poured them into my Vitamix blender. In this recipe, I used a can of pineapple chunks, and what I did is pour about 3 tablespoons worth of pineapple juice into the blender. This juice did not have any added sugars. If you want to make it sweeter, you could add some maple syrup. I added just a pinch of salt. Then I blended the cashews until I achieved a creamy, smooth texture. And again, occasionally I had to stop to scrape down the sides. I also added some more pineapple juice halfway through just to improve the creaminess and the flavor. I then took 1 cup of pineapple chunks and I cut those into smaller pieces to stir those into the cream cheese mixture. To make it easy, I actually just poured them into the blender and pulsed them into the cream cheese mixture. As with the other cream cheeses, I then added these 2 ramekins, covered them, and then placed them in the refrigerator for storage. And again, you can use this up to about 3 days. You can use any of these cream cheese bases and mix with any of the flavors I suggest. But there's also some other interesting combinations. For example, you could mix together maple syrup and cinnamon, or roasted red pepper and smoked paprika, or perhaps a cranberry jalapeno flavor would be good. So let's move on to making the actual red lentil bagels. You won't believe how easy this is to make, and you won't believe how it turns out into an actual baked product using red lentils. Start off by measuring 3/4 cups of split red lentils, pour them into a medium-sized bowl, and then cover them with boiling water. Cover at least 1 inch above the red lentils, probably 2 inches, and then allow it to come to room temperature, cover it, and then store it in the fridge for about 8 hours. After the lentils have soaked for 8 hours, strain them, and then you're also going to want to rinse them very well. Then add the lentils to a food processor. Then juice about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and place that into the red lentils. Add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Then add 4 tablespoons of psyllium husk powder. Also add 1 teaspoon each of salt and baking powder. Then add 1/2 cup of water. Then start pulsing the red lentil mixture until all of the lentils are pulverized, and eventually what you want is a dough-like texture. I did have to stop my food processor periodically to scrape down the sides, and I also had to add additional water. I did about a few tablespoons at a time, so just keep doing this process until you get a dough-like texture. Turn this dough out onto a clean surface and then work it like you do any dough. Just form it into a ball and keep shaping it such that it comes together. Then cut the dough evenly into 4 sections. This dough makes 4 bagels. Then line a baking tray with parchment paper and take each section of the dough and then form individual balls for each section. If you're making plain bagels, just place them on the baking tray at this point. If you're topping your bagels, just place your toppings into individual bowls. I'm using everything bagel mixture from Trader Joe's, and then in the other bowl, I'm using plain sesame seeds. Then for these flavored bagels, just take your ball of dough and press it into these flavored toppings. After you've placed all of the bagels on the baking tray, you want to use clean, wet hands to press down each bagel, and you want to flatten it slightly and shape it into the form of a bagel. Make sure you don't make it too flat. You do want a slight thickness to it so it rises as a bagel. Then you want to use a small stick to make a hole in the center of each bagel. I use the end of a chopstick. And you want to circle that around and then use your hands to spread that hole out. You actually want to try to spread a very large hole because the bagels do rise and puff up as they bake, and this hole tends to close. So the wider the hole, the better. I then brush the tops of the bagels with some olive oil. If you don't want the extra oil, you can just skip this step. I then placed the bagels in a 395-degree oven, and I baked them for 30 minutes, and I checked it, and then I decided to bake it for an additional 5 minutes. So I'd say bake between 30 and 35 minutes. The bagels have a slightly hard exterior and a very nice soft interior. I couldn't wait to try one of the plain bagels with the cashew pineapple cream cheese. The flavors of the bagel and the cream cheese paired well together, and the bagel had a really nice soft interior, and there was a nice chew to the exterior. So yes, I know that bagels are typically used for breakfast food, but let's move on. I'll show you how to make a sandwich using the bagels and one of the cream cheeses. I took a few slices of Plant Provisions Tuscan veggie slices. These are made from red peppers and chickpeas. They're 100% gluten-free and plant-based. And so I just simply took those and I included a plain bagel. Then I spread that with some sun-dried tomato and basil sunflower cream cheese. And the outcome was delicious. As I say in every video, if you have a particular food that you want converted to a gluten-free and vegan or plant-based recipe, let me know in the comments. Also, check out these next videos.